Hey, Billy, why is beach sand yellow? Because sea weed. Haha. Hey, good day, mates. How you doing? My name's Captain Diddley. Welcome to the journey. Discover it, where we be sailing the digital divide. This section's on ethics. Firstly, I'd like to say technology is neither good nor evil. It is simply a tool. Technology is a tool. Anyway, if you choose to ignore that, stay out of the fight. It's your choice. It's a fight worth fighting, if you ask me. Okay, this episode is the idea of relationships. How relationships are affected by technology. Before I continue, I would like to quote Larman's sunscreen. My advice is no more reliable than my own meandering experience. No more basis as well. It's not a direct quote, it's more some Irish type thing. Anyway, sea makes me a bit tipsy sometimes. There. A while ago, when I was on some hard seas, I read a book by Gary Chapman called The 5 Love Languages. Now, the 5 love languages. What makes you feel loved? The first being physical. Second, words of affirmation. Third, be service. Fourth, be gifts. Fifth, be quality time. Now, let's get on with it, shall we? And go through them and see how technology can aid and be evil. Which one is weapon and advice? Let's go. Good day there. That be my local surfing spot in the background there. It's lovely waves there. Down on Jeffreys Bay, that is. It's fun times. Anyway, focused. Now, relationships and the 5 love languages. Firstly, you must know that each person has a primary love language and a secondary love language. And the rest all matter, but not as much as the one that is their primary. Now, first thing we're going into is the idea of quality time. Quality time is very important. Now, how can technology help us in quality time? For one, it can bridge geographical gaps. Myself, I have a sister in Australia. My sister in Australia, me and her, we can chat. We can actually communicate because of technology. I suggest to anybody who has loved ones far away to use a program called Skype. Get themselves a decent microphone, webcam, and internet connection. And then what they can do is they can chat as much as they want to physically see the person, and they can talk to them live. Unfortunately, you cannot smell them, but it's so fine with all the salt and fish. I don't think I want her to smell me. Anyway, now, the next thing is the evil part of it. It limits the quality and the quantity of the time that we get to spend together often. Now, for example, what happens is when we be together, we watch TV while having supper, instead of sitting there around a table and physically getting to chat about each other's days and seeing how the other person is doing. That'd be bad. Now, on from there. What I suggest you do with that is you actually set aside some good property quality time with your family and your friends, and you ensure at least a few times a week you get together and you spend a good solid hour with no phones, no nothing, just simply you and them getting to chat how they are and get to know each other. Now, on from there. The next one, be affirmative words. Well, hey, Billy, do you know why dolphins are so clever? They can train people to throw them fish with only 2 weeks in captivity. Now, affirmative words. Anyway, affirmative words. Now, good side of affirmative words. Technology can allow you to maintain a lot more friendships, to spread those affirmative words out there. Now, with regards to that, there is a bloke. Oh, I always forget his name. What was his name again? His name was Reuben Dunbar. Reuben Dunbar is a professor of voluntary anthropology at Oxford University. Big title, and I got that right. Anyway, part of his studies is the idea that a human brain can only handle 150 friendships. Now, that's quite a lot if you ask me. Probably pretty unpopular then. But in my defense, me in the open sea, we don't meet a lot of people. But anyway, now, the way you do and you can communicate and maintain a whole bunch of friendships is Facebook and IMs. You can find each other, find people you knew from when you were younger, and really maintain and catch up with old times. Now, the IMs, for example, would be Google Talk. You've got your MSN Messenger, you've got your Mixit, all those live chats. Now, my suggestion is you actually install an application called Pigeon. There are many other applications, but Pigeon is the one I use, where it can collate multiple IMs, allow you to, instead of having multiple applications, just only have one. Now, this brings in a problem of focus. That is another episode of Discovered. But anyway, focus in a nutshell. Simply do one thing, then do another. Make sure you work first, and then send aside 15 minutes where you can talk to your friends and catch up with them. Alright. Anyway, evil side of it is can make it a lot less meaningful. People send them a quick message to say hello, blah, 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 without actually really thinking about what they're saying and spending time on what they're saying. Anyway, what I do suggest for all of you is actually to spend a whole bunch of time in your messages. And show that if they're loved, to make sure that they can know loved in that message, that it is personal. Now, on from there, I would suggest maybe even using a different medium every now and again. But anyway, now, message in a bottle works well, but you've got to work with the tides. That's a problem. The tides can be difficult to read. Anyway, moving on. Hey, Billy, what are you doing? There's a big difference between giving a guy a hug and holding him down. Alright, yeah. The next one, be physical touch. Now, physical touch be a challenging one on how technology can aid that. But now, technology was actually originally designed, and the purpose of technology is to make your life simpler. If it's not, you're doing it wrong. And I hope the training DVDs will help you in this. But anyway, you should be able to, with technology, free up some time where you can spend with your loved ones. Give them a hug, a kiss on the cheek. Spend some time cuddling. Cuddling. I shall get it right one day. Obviously, I don't cuddle much being out here. Anyway, now, on from there. Suggestions on how to simplify your life. For one, make use of internet banking. Simplify your work, set up templates, set up signatures, all those things. Make sure your life can be simpler with the use of technology. Free up your time. Now, and from there, the evil side of technology, physical touch. For one, everything can be so much easier to do without actually physically being there. Now, for one, you can message your children, good luck with your cricket game, but you're not going to be physically there. You actually must spend some time, take away your own time and actually physically be there. To give them a tap on the back, a hug when they win, or a hug when they lose, just to physically be there for them, support them. Anyway, moving on. On and from that, we go on to the idea of gifts. Now, Billy, I don't have a gift for you yet. I shall, next heaven we cross, I'll buy you a beer. Okay, anyway, moving on. Now, easier to get. Gifts are so much more easier to get. With technology, you can get them from all around the world. You can deliver them to all around the world. There's not much extra cost, and you can get them cheaper often as well. Now, a couple of suggestions with regards to this is Kalahari.net, Gumtree, they're limitless, eBay, you name it. There are a lot of big ones out there. But I do ensure that you ensure that the site is known, and make sure that it is using a secure socket language. Now, you know this, but there's a little, depending on which browser you use, they display it differently. The newer ones have like all fancy ways of showing it. But basically there's a little lock or something to indicate that this site is a secure site. Now, as far as the payment method is concerned, a lot of donation sites and various other different websites, they utilize a system called PayPal, or they utilize a famous money payment scheme. Now, that definitely means your money be safe, but it doesn't mean you're going to get the goods. It just simply means that they will not be able to steal your account information. It is a good way still. If you're wanting to set up your own business, you can utilize PayPal and those sort of systems to get them to pay. Anyway, from now on, the evil side. Moving on. Gifts can become thoughtless. Take away the purpose of a gift. It's to show that you care. Don't order 5 salt cellars, those kind of things. What I suggest you do is really get to know the person. And there'll be millions of things you can choose from now, and get them something really personal and useful, and something that they'll really like. Now, the last one would be service. Now, you can service by simply using technology to make your loved one's life easier. A good example of this, if your son is battling to create with his projects, not getting very good marks, those kind of things, set him up a template. With the template, he can set up exactly what he requires in all of his projects should have. His introduction, he can maybe make table content, set out the layout nicely, make a good cover page for him. Sit there so that he can actually literally just fill in the data and see what different elements should come together for that project. You can set up email signatures, you could set up multiple different things. Just even get their computer set up so much nicer so it's easier for them to work on. It's a good way of helping that. And all of those kind of things will be covered in the training DVDs, and I'll show you how to help people and help yourselves with regards to that. Now the evil side of that, tech can serve as a distraction. Like the other day, I rushed my meal that I was cooking for Billy. He did do the dishes afterwards. I felt very bad about that. But I rushed the meal because I was playing a computer game. And my suggestion with regards to that is simply use Outlook or Excel to set yourself up a weekly schedule. Time when you're doing this, time when you're doing that. Set up your time and manage it correctly. Technology can really aid you in that. Anyway, that brings me to a close. I think I've used up enough of your time. But yes, please spend time looking through the training DVDs. Get to know computers. Get to use technology to help yourself, to help your loved ones. To spend time with your friends, your family. Okay, closing off. Goodbye.